Hey, howdy, folks. Want to make a video kind of explaining what I'm looking for in this language skills study sheet. Because remember, this assignment is two parts. Part one is you got to take this ACT practice, and then part two would be reviewing one of those skills because the ACT tests a ton of different skills, and they're all like legitimately important when it comes into terms of reading and writing. But you obviously don't need to learn all of them in a week. My goal is that you learn like one thing at a time, and you're just working on growing yourself as an English language learner. Um, so I've got my test up here, and I didn't do great. I got 14 or 4 out of 16 right. Bummer. That doesn't mean that I'm hopeless. That just means that I have some work to do, and I don't need to fix everything. I just need to fix one thing. So the first thing you're going to do is go through and fix each problem that you got wrong. So if I were to click on one of these purple links, it'll take me to an explanation of like, hey, here's what we were testing, and then I can try some similar problems. So I'd go through and I'd fix these. As I'm doing this, I'm going to pick one of them, pick just one area of study that I need to work on in this ACT review. So let's say I've already fixed this one, and I want to try to fix this one. This is the skill that I'm choosing to work on. I'm going to like maybe sit down and actually take some notes, like handwritten notes, saying, oh, okay, I'm working on commas separating items in a series, or using commas to separate 3 or more items in a series. And I'm going to compare that and really look, okay, here's what the question was asking. Here's what the correct answer was. I put a semicolon in there. Man, semicolon does not go there. So I'm going to take these notes and I'm going to translate them into what I'm working on. So this one, a skill identified, might be using commas in a series. Means a list, right? So explain the rule you've identified above. I might just paraphrase what I'm seeing here. So I'm going to don't use commas to separate 2 items. Don't use commas to separate 2 items. I am going to use commas when I'm separating 3 or more items. Cool. Use a comma to separate 3 or more items in a list. Spell items right. Cool. And I'm at this point, I might try a similar problem because, just writing down these words doesn't necessarily mean that I get it. I need to practice identifying when to use these different rules. So let's try a different problem. All right. So Reverend Lovejoy saw skunks and muskrats during the nature hike. So the 2 things that I'm listing, the 2 items in a series, are the 2 things that Reverend Lovejoy saw. So I might take a look at my notes. It says don't use a comma to separate 2 or more items. I see skunks and muskrats. It's only 2. Get rid of that guy. Submit my answer. Let's see how it does. Hooray. And it says that I got it right. Well, at least marks it as I've tried this again. Cool. And then the last thing I'm going to need to do is I need to write 2 sentences to continue practicing this, to use this concept above. So I'm going to try to write 2 sentences, maybe one that uses no commas, right? A list of items of 2 things, and then another sentence that lists 3 or more. So let's see here. And I play basketball, and I'm going to put a comma there because I know that that's an introductory phrase. People usually laugh at my awkwardness and encourage me to keep trying. Notice how I didn't put a comma between these 2 things, right? Because using my list, I'm only listing 2 things. What do people do when they laugh? Or what do people do when they see me play basketball? Well, they usually laugh and they encourage. Those are the 2 list items that I'm doing. So now let's do a list item with 3 or more things. So I went to the store to pick up Oreos, ice cream, and spinach. or one healthy thing in there, right? And I used commas in this one to practice my use of 3 or more items. And that's it. I would put my quiz number in here. So to do that, I might just copy and paste, copy, paste that guy up there. And that's all I need to do. My goal is to just identify and practice one rule that is a grammar rule on the ACT. And that's what I'm going to submit. Notice that I do have an example down here. And then I would continue on. I have to go through and correct all of these other purple examples that I missed. So just to continue that idea of practice, but you only have to highlight one of them. All right. Good luck, folks.